Hello, everyone. I pray that you all are doing great. Y'all, listen. I don't know how to do this natural hair stuff because I be ready to put on my wig. But my best friend told me yesterday, stop putting on that wig and do your hair. So y'all have to excuse me if I don't know how to. But I just want to come on and share another story with you guys. I just am. And, I just feel led to share some stories with you guys. I don't do it for the likes. I don't do it to be seen. I just do it because I feel in my spirit that me sharing what I've been through is helping somebody else, even if it's just one person. I may come on every day, then you may not see me for a few days because I just want to be led by the Spirit, how God lead me to do. But I just want to say, years ago, I was working when I was back home. I was working at this facility. And at that time, my sister was still sick. I have to come on and tell you guys that story one day. But my sister was sick in her 20s. She was like 21, 22 when I was like 24, 25, something like that. But she was sick for 7.5 years. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with her. So we went through a storm, you guys. And let me tell you, it wasn't nobody but God that kept me, because during that time I had to take care of my sister. She had 2 kids. I had my 4 kids. So that's my sister, 6 kids, myself. At the time, my mom was on drugs. So that was my mom. I had to even take care of that situation with my mom. Like, I'm just literally going through all this stuff, And my dad, he was there, but my dad, I don't know how I feel to see. Well, yes, I do, because God healed my daughter. But I had to come back and say, y'all, that again. But, my dad seeing my sister sick like this, and we taking her to doctor after doctor. The doctors don't know what's wrong, like this. I'm going to have to tell y'all about this sickness, y'all, because I'm telling you. But, okay, let me try to make a long story short. One day, the job was giving us bonuses. And I had missed a lot of days from work because of my sister being sick, And I would talk to God. I'm like, because my dad was like, one day my dad called me. He was like, everybody call me, do this sick and stuff. And I'm like, he's like, you working, you do this sick? I say, I gotta work. I was hurt. And I'm like, I never disrespect my parents, but I was like, I gotta work. I'm like, that's your daughter. That's my sister. I was just so much on me. But I never said in disrespect, but I didn't know my dad was hurt. He just cried. That hurt in my heart, because he just broke down one day and he cried to me. He was like, he said, it hurts so bad to see my child sick and I can't do nothing to help him. Now that was that hurted me to my heart to hear my dad cry. Because I'm a daddy's girl too, and a mama's girl. But, yes, I had missed so many days of work, you guys, because I had to be home with my sister. And I just say, Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do. But the job was giving out bonuses. And I'll never forget, I thank God for favor. I find favor everywhere I go. It follows me. So I thank God for that. And I find favor with, like, the high people, So the boss lady of the corporate business over the job, she told me, she said, Nikita, she said, we giving out 5 bonuses to people. She say, to 5 of our best people. She say, so I'm just giving you a little hint. And because I was just going through so much, I was like, okay, that's awesome. I didn't think nothing. But I knew that I didn't have a lot of days. So I was already like, Lord, I know you're going to make a way for me, because I didn't have a lot of days. So I didn't know how much my check was going to be. Although I didn't have rent, because I was, my house was already paid for. I still had other things that I need to pay, my light bill, water bill, things that I wanted to get for the kids and the family, groceries. But when I got my check, you guys, I was one of the ones that got the bonus. And let me tell you, I was so happy. I just started crying. I had people that was happy for me, but let me tell you, baby, that devil was mad. And I'll never forget, I made a mistake and told one lady that I had got the bonus. And the bonus was $500, I think. It was it? No, it was more than $500. It was almost $1,000. And I was so grateful to God. And so I told somebody, and they went back and they told somebody. And my daddy taught me years ago, don't ever tell nobody how much you make, people, because they just get jealous. And I'll never forget, there was this older lady that worked at that job for years. She been there about 40 years. That woman was hot with me. You hear me? She was so mad. And she told me, she said, Nikita, I don't mean no harm toward you. I don't mean no harm towards you, but I don't understand how you get the bonus. And I've been here longer than you. And, just saying all kind of crazy stuff. I was so hurt. I was crying. I'm like, Lord Jesus. I was crying, girl. I was like, Lord, they just don't understand what I've been through. Like, I'm about to literally cry. Now they didn't understand what I was going through. I was going to work every day with a smile on my face, but I felt like I had a truck in my chest. Like, you didn't know what I was dealing with. I didn't even have no days. I had missed like 8 days. We don't get but like 10 days on the check. So I ain't have but like 2 days. My regular check, I think it was like $100 and some dollars. So either $200 and some dollars. So it was a blessing to me to get the bonus. But that lady told me that I was crying. I'll never forget. I was walking down the hall. And one of my friend girls at the job, she did tell me, she said, Nikita, she said a little curse word though. She said, you know what, blank her. She stopped being so mean and hateful, walking around here so mean and hateful, maybe she'll get something. She said, you take your money, you need it, you deserve it, and you go do what you got to do with it. And so I was walking down the hall, and I would never forget the administrator. He was a young white man. And he must have seen that I was looking kind of sad. And and I was finna go, I don't know if I was finna tell him, like, I don't know if I was going to say I didn't want the bonus. Because, at that time, I just wanted peace. And that man looked at me, he said, let me tell you something. He said, you keep smiling. And he said, you keep going and walking like you've been doing at this job. He said, you keep being nice and just glowing and smiling like you do. He said, you'll be the only one to get a bonus next year. He says, don't worry about what nobody say, because I'm the boss of this place. And keep doing what you're doing. So I just want to say that to you all. Be encouraged. You never know who watching you. I don't care. Like, that's why I say what you see me do now is what you see I do behind closed doors. What I do in front of people is not because I want to be seen. Because let me tell you something. The person that I want to please is God, is Jesus. So I make sure that, because what you see me do is what you see me do. But what are you doing behind closed doors? What I do behind closed doors is what you see me do. Because one thing about it, I want to please God. That's what I want to do. I want to please God. And if I can't do it, when I'm not behind the closed doors, then I don't need to be doing it. So that's my main thing. You never know who's watching you. And it doesn't matter who's watching you, because God is always watching you. Let me tell you, I remember, years ago, and I was, doing things I shouldn't been doing. And it's like when a person that was in the Lord would come along, I would try to hide it. And the Lord said to me, I heard the Spirit say, you hiding it from them, but you all up in my face doing it. And I was like, wow, Lord, wow. So you know what? I don't worry about what people say. I worry about what God say. So I love you guys to life. You never know who's watching you. And God is so amazing. Y'all, look, give me some tips on how to do this hair, y'all. How to work it out. But I love you guys to life. Know that Jesus loves you more. Be encouraged, and God bless.